I'm bored. Let's read a book. Oh!
This time all three exchanged knowing glances, and things were even worse. What about the goddaughter? I found her a good-looking and talented husband who loved her and provided a dowry, and we both cried. I shut them up, but I felt petty about it as we packed the horses for the coming day's ride. Finally, I stepped over to Yelena. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. She smiled as softly as I had seen her smile, and touched my arm briefly. Don't be. It's good to see the Great Order Masters are human, and that they love and make mistakes. I'm not a Great Order Master. Yelena swung onto her own brown gelding. Then there are none. I pondered that as I climbed onto Garlock. Perhaps that was a problem, that there were simply no Great Order Masters to combat the Chaos Masters like Antonin. Then I frowned. A simple solution, too simple, and simple and easy answers were almost always wrong. By mid-morning, the feeling of impending chaos was stronger, much stronger, and not receding. The road had not been used in some time, except for a single rider whose prints appeared now and again in sheltered spots in the clay. How long since the prints had been made I could not tell, nor could Yelena. We have not had a great rain since summer, she pursed her lips. I could feel the energy ahead, perhaps as near as over the next hill crest. Overhead, the great clouds rolled. No rain fell as we rode up the especially steep hill. Stop, I said, feeling the chaos pressure. There's something ahead. Armed men? No. I sent my perceptions forward, but I could only detect a small bump in the road, somehow tied down with chaos, nothing else. I think it's all right for now. The hump was a body, or what was left of it. Yelena rode almost up to the figure, then dismounted, standing back from the face-down remains. Outlier's belt. Careful, there's chaos there. The sub-officer nodded. I know, we've seen this before. She drew her sword and touched the body. A bright blue spark flashed against the steel. She glanced at me. It's another trick of the White Wizards. Even from where Gerlach and I had stopped, the heat from the spark momentarily warmed the chill noontime air. She used the sword to lever the body over onto its back. The Kyphron soldier's face was a charred and shattered mass, the target of a fireball thrown by Antonin or Cephia, or some other chaos wizard. I could guess what happened. The outlier had been lured or charmed this far out and then destroyed. Chaos fed on him. Too bad we can't feed on chaos. We'd never go hungry anymore. She motioned to Wilden. Let's take care of this. Not much time, but there are stones there. In the end, all of this created a cairn by the side of the deserted roan. As we were mounted, Yelena's remark got me thinking. In a way, chaos fed on chaos. The stronger Antonin became, the more he could destroy, which increased the amount of chaos in Kandar. In the whole world, really. If the Order Masters were right, increased chaos had to be balanced somewhere by increased order. I swallowed hard. If what I thought was true in the fact, Talrin and the Brotherhood had a lot to answer for. That didn't resolve my particular problem. While I was getting stronger, Justin had been right. It was a slow process. Antonin could literally tear holes in mountains and buildings and infect whole cavalry troops with chaos. It would be years, if ever, before I can confront Antonin directly, and that wouldn't help Crystal or the Autarch or the people of either Galos or Kyphros. Justin's method was clear. He kept reinforcing low-level order everywhere around Antonin, from healing Angelico to sheep ranching in Montgren. That order limited the indirect spillover of chaos and protected most of the innocents. Just as clear was the fact that Antonin was willing to let all of that low-level order build up because it allowed him to increase his powers, which in turn let Justin exercise his powers. I rubbed my temples with my fingertips. Was the whole thing an exercise in circles? Was any wizard, white or black, really being honest about it? Was this the reason why no one had answered the questions behind my questions? What now, Ordermaster? I understood. Now she had the reason to be dismissed, and Crystal needed them. This is as far as you go, sub-officer. This is where chaos starts. You sure? I nodded, wanting to ensure that all of them carried the same message back. I can't protect you and search for the White Wizard, not without endangering us all. I thank you for the escort, for the company, and for your understanding. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yelena held back a moment when the other two turned their mounts. We'd like to see you again, sir. Then the harness returned to her face, as the discipline reasserted itself. I watched the three until they were out of sight, checking to make sure no chaos waited for them, but I could detect none, not in that direction. Toward the west thorns was another question. Supposedly the old road should never cross the Wizard's Road before too long. Supposedly. But things never quite turned out as they were supposed to. And when they did, I was finding that I wished they hadn't. A cold wind blew from nowhere, almost more in my mind than across that high slope where I began the last solitary part of my quest, if where that it was. Why I was traveling a near abandoned road toward a wizard who had swatted me aside like a fly the last time we had met. What did I think I could possibly accomplish when Tolerant or Justin had been able to do nothing? Then again, had they really tried? Who was telling the truth? Where was anyone? I shivered, but Gerlach lifted his head as if to say we should get on with it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on any of my videos. See y'all in the next one. Goodbye!